Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today joins at Worksops Indoor Golf Centre, where we're going to be testing the Taylormade Tour Stripe versus the Super NEWNING Stripe off Temu and AliExpress.
Okay.
Now this is a video that I've been asked to do by the subscribers. These balls net to £1.90 each versus the Taylormade Tour Stripe that nets to £2.90 each. So £1 cheaper a ball, and the £12 are cheaper a dozen.
Yeah. And
we're going to test them, see how they actually compare. Because a lot of people at the minute are shopping on AliExpress and Temu, but they don't really know what's going to arrive. So we're sort of trying to do these tests to, you know, give you a little bit of an idea of what you're actually buying.
First impression?
I mean, I love the different colours.
Yeah.
There's some great, you know, and obviously these colours, you can. There's a lot more options. You don't have to buy a full dozen. You can just buy like 3 balls or 6 balls. If you want like to get a little bit of a mixture of different colours, you know, you can do that. I mean, first impression, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it looks quite as good.
Doesn't look or feel as good?
Yeah, like, we always do that test, don't we? When
you love that, don't you?
I think that Taylormade Tour Response is certainly softer.
Yeah, you can feel
on
that.
First impression, but I think what you guys are going to be keen to know is actual numbers.
Numbers and data.
And numbers and data and how it feels. And it might be that people just can't afford a Tour Response, you know, at £30 a dozen.
When you lose as many as I do.
35 a dozen, should I say, sorry. So it could be that, you know, you're a completely different golfer and you're just wanting a ball that looks kind of good and you can use for chipping and putting practice. And yeah, plays nice. So we're going to start, I think, up on chipping green.
Yeah.
And we're just going to see how it actually feels with a short club. Because for me, when I'm buying a golf ball, it doesn't really have to perform chipping and putting. And then, you know, obviously ball flight data is important as well. But first of all, for me, and I don't know about you guys, but it has to work around green.
Of course.
Let's start with that. Right, Dan, so I'm going to start off by just chipping free with a Super NEWNING soft. I don't know if you're supposed to line these up, but it's just for feel.
Don't go in.
Oh,
oh dear. Thanks for watching anyway, guys.
You couldn't write it. Get me a dozen. I mean, I'll tell you how soft it feels in a minute when I try because they are quite soft. Have you tried them, Dan?
Yeah, I like them.
I do actually.
When you study, I can definitely hear that they're a bit
clicky.
Yeah, a bit clicky, aren't they?
Let's try that Taylormade. Oh, you can tell it's sound, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll pick that up on camera, but
yeah,
you can definitely hear it.
You know when you can tell how it feels by sound?
Yep.
It's got that like softer connection, which I think that's what I like. You know that, would you call it a urethane cover feel?
Yeah.
You don't get that with a Super NEWNING. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't play with that ball, Dan. You know, it just feels a little bit sort of clickier.
Yeah. I guess real tests will be in numbers as well.
Yeah. I mean, at £2 a ball, £1.90 a ball, I think they're certainly, I'm not disappointed with what I've, you know, when you open something.
Yeah.
I mean, like for putting practice, that felt dead soft.
Yeah.
That felt fine. It could be somebody just wanting to get 3 balls to practice with. For short game, there's a bit of a... I mean, it does actually feel alright, you know, to put in. Not just because I'm all in it, it actually feels alright.
Well, they must work, so I've never seen them drop like this. Don't miss this one.
What will be interesting if this rolls any better, because they've looked like a bit like that, haven't they?
A bit, right.
Even though they've gone in, is that line perfect? Just a putting, God, aren't I?
I mean, that's a good display. You could definitely hear that one. That one sounded lovely.
I was just about to say it. Until you actually hit that one, you don't realise, but it is a lot softer.
Yeah.
You know, that outer shell. But it says it's a 3-piece ball, so I mean, it should be performing all right. What about Is there any cut marks or anything? I mean, I see a bit like residue there. Look at that.
What already?
Yeah. Only hit some short wedges. That's always the thing with these sort of more budget balls, isn't it? It's
are they going to look after a few shots?
Are they going to look? Yeah. Right, let's have a look at numbers. We'll get a bit more idea how they look after this.
Yep.
So we're going to hit 5 shots with pitching wedge, 7-iron and driver. And we're going to start with Taylormade. We will zoom through these, so you might not see every single swing. You're certainly going to get to see that data at the end. I'll tell you what, to hit it though, it don't feel too bad.
Do you know what, when you hit it then, I was expecting to hear a different noise and I didn't really hear it.
Yeah, I wonder if the softness of this ball is more from the inner shell.
I'll tell you what, the numbers look very interesting. I know it's on its first one.
Do you know what, I've not actually paid too much attention to them. I've been studying hitting them.
Well, I did.
Are you telling me that in a good way or a bad way?
I'm not giving anything away yet.
So 7-iron with Taylormade. It definitely looks a classier ball, Dan. I mean, I know it's a pound more a ball.
Yep.
So you would expect that, wouldn't you, to be fair? Oh, that felt nice. That felt like a really good strike. I'm going to pay a bit more attention to these numbers, I think, this
You're
time.
swinging quite well today.
180. Well, I think if we're looking at distance, 180 to 185, we're about the number, weren't it?
Yeah, total, yeah.
Right. 7-iron Super NEWNING. Get in the comments, guys, if you've used these balls, and give us a review. What do you think? That's odd.
What?
Because I struck that really well, and that didn't seem to go the same distance.
Well, yeah, spin were up and ball speed were well down on that one.
That is odd, because that were a good strike, that.
Yeah.
That were a good strike as well. That is odd. I mean, 180, 185 with the mark, weren't it?
Yeah. You'll see it after in data. So the thing that I've noticed there, you're about 1500 up on the spin.
Right.
And ball speeds drop 4 or 5 miles an hour.
I mean,
and if you're saying you struck it well,
it was definitely wider on dispersion as well, and I'm not sure how much that was me and ball, but
I mean, do you think you struck it well?
Yeah.
I would say it's ball.
I really do.
I think both last 2 shots did a similar thing there, didn't they?
Right, Taylormade driver. And Taylormade ball. I've never used a Taylormade ball actually with this.
Have you not?
Might be the perfect combination. What do you reckon, them numbers?
That ball is definitely not for you.
What, spinner?
Yeah, look, it's been low on all of them.
Has it? Right, Super NEWNING, Taylormade driver. This could actually explode.
Yeah, we're a bit nervous, aren't we?
We're a bit nervous about this one. But the final 5. Get in the comments, guys. What do you think the conclusion is going to be?
How did you strike that one?
All right, not the best. I mean, obviously a little bit of a cut, which I'm trying to play. I'm trying to play that cut. It's not like I've accounted for it in here that much. I tend not to in simulators, don't you? But probably weren't my best. But do you know what? It went to 85 and it weren't the best strike. That were good. That were good. So now that's going to give us a number, isn't it? I mean, right, so let's start by having a look at these numbers. If we first start by looking at sort of pitching wedge numbers, that is a little bit interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Not a great deal in difference in ball speed. In fact, ball speed is actually quicker, isn't it, with Super NEWNING?
Just a little bit, yeah.
A little bit lower launching, a little bit lower spinning, but actual distance, you know, more. What would you want from the ball, though? You would probably want a bit more spin, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're pitching wedge. You're definitely looking for that 8-4 rather than 7-7.
And I think if you looked at dispersion, Taylormade definitely wins on dispersion.
Yeah, it does.
So I think I'd quickly conclude on saying that Taylormade is better for dispersion, better for spin, and that's what you want in your wedge part of your game. If we go on to mid-iron, so we've got 7 irons here. So let's have a look. So Taylormade now is a little bit quicker on ball speed.
Yep.
A little bit lower spinning. For a 7 iron.
The launch similar, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose total spin, yeah, launch. I mean, Taylormade is longer. It's 183. But again, dispersion's better. And what do you want with your, you know, your mid irons?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
No, I agree with that. I mean, if we look at there's not much in them really, is there?
Not a great deal, apart from obviously dispersion. I mean, distance. I mean, 5 yards is a lot of distance on average.
Yeah.
And I think final point on this iron is if you look at the actual ball speed deviation, it's not as tight, is it, with Super NEWNING 2.4?
No, yeah. I think we saw that in a couple of them, didn't we? They really dropped off.
Yeah, so a little bit more of a variation in ball speed. You know, that could be a bit down to me.
It could be, but you thought you struck them well,
but
didn't you?
I thought I struck it well, and also, like, when you misstrike a ball, is it that the ball's not keeping its ball speed on such a good strike where it would keep a bit more ball speed with a Taylormade? We don't know, but certainly I think we could conclude again by saying Taylormade wins. Let's go to driver. Wow.
Oh.
Jeez.
Well, that's interesting.
That is interesting. Wow. That is interesting. I mean, you've got to be really, really picky here, haven't you? Total distance averaging the same, carry distance averaging the same. I mean, if you want to really get picky, total spin, you know, you've got more deviation with Super NEWNING at 406 against 288.
Yep.
You know, side angles slightly tighter with Taylormade. I mean, Taylormade ball speed dispersion here is a little bit, you know,
not quite
as good. I mean,
I guess if you look at my level, you'd prefer, or I would, 12.5 launch and a bit more spin.
Yeah.
And that's what you get with the Super New.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
If you was a fitter, you'd be probably saying that's a better ball.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at them blind, like at least I would, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'd prefer a bit more launch and a bit more spin, because that spin is on the low side, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think before we start to conclude, again, we need to thank Worksops Indoor Golf Centre for getting us in here today.
Yep, great facility.
Really helps us out getting some videos done, and yeah, great facility. If you've not checked them out, go and check them out. I'll pop the details in the description below. I mean, that has surprised me on that final test.
Yeah.
You know, when you're buying a budget ball, you don't expect it to sort of compete on numbers.
No, well, it shouldn't do, should it, really?
It shouldn't do. You haven't got a right to, really.
No.
But what would you say as a golfer? I mean, you're quite happy. I mean, how much do you usually spend on a dozen balls?
I always buy them second hand, don't I?
Yeah.
I'd be wary about buying them, as much as I like to save money. There were just a couple of shots I thought, is that the ball?
When are you next playing?
As soon as weather picks up.
Well, I'm going to give you these for you to play with, and we'll drop your thoughts in after you've played with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would conclude by saying that I think I'm a bit sit where you sit. Even though I've seen them numbers, I don't feel as confident. Don't feel as soft and as comfortable to play with around green.
Yeah.
I look down at it and I feel as though I've got a budget ball. But I'm saying all this and I'm not looking at it through eyes of somebody who probably wants to spend £20 a dozen on it. I think if I were comparing it against like a £20 ball, it could be a different story completely. We are comparing it against Taylormade's Tour Stripe at $34.99 a dozen.
Yeah, well, it's a pound a ball, isn't it? And I mean,
and it's actually competed pretty well. If you were comparing that against maybe, you know, a $19.99 ball,
yeah, maybe so, but
maybe you put them side by side. Which one would you? You know, there's a possibility. You know, you might even buy that.
I mean, looking at numbers, you did a bit of chipping, bit of putting. Numbers, you can't really separate them much. The only thing you're going on is sound, feel, and looks.
Yeah.
And is that worth a pound more a ball to you?
That is a very good point. That is a very good point. That is all I am going on.
Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head there.
I mean, if you know it's going to perform time after time, and these durability, we don't know how long they're going to last, do we?
Well, I was looking at that actually, because after that first little bit of chipping, it looked like there was a bit of residue, but we've just hit some 7-irons, wedges and drivers. There's not a mark on it, is there?
So good, yeah.
So far, so good on durability.
I guess you just need to try them on a course for a full round.
I'm going to give them you. Will you actually play with them?
Well, I'll have a go, as long as I'm not playing you in a match. I know what you like, out for an advantage.
Guys, if you've enjoyed that video, the Supur NEWNING, what I would say, I mean, and I'm quite happy to say it on these videos, I'll quite happily tell you when I wouldn't buy something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't conclude by saying don't buy these balls.
Not off what we've seen.
No, I would conclude by saying if you're curious, buy them and test them and see what you think.
I did ask the question earlier, is it conforming? Like, is it a... I'm not sure.
I'll put that up on screen now if it's conforming or not. I'm not sure. Is there a list that you can check?
I wouldn't know. It's just one thing I thought.
Well, I'll do a little bit of research, see
Yeah.
if I can find the answer. I might be inconclusive on that, but
certainly for practice rounds or whatever.
yeah, I think I'd conclude by saying on numbers it's not too far off. And,
No.
you know, if you're on a budget for some balls, definitely give them a try.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe that's why the reviews are so positive, because the people buying them are in the market of wanting that ball on a budget.
Yeah.
So that's why they're really happy with what they're getting. But maybe we've done the test against the wrong ball, I don't know. But yeah.
So far, so good.
Guys, I appreciate you watching the channel. I appreciate you being a subscriber. And yeah, I appreciate you watching the videos.
Yeah.
And thanks for Worksops Indoor Golf Centre for getting us down here today, keeping us going through winter while we've got snow on floor.
Yeah, not the best outside, is it?
It's not the best. We're on the way to Christmas and we're on the way to 20,000 followers. We're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah. Might even be a little giveaway. 20,000.
What, these balls?
Yeah, you can have these balls when we've used them.
Guys, hope you're enjoying the videos and we'll see you in a few days' time. Bye.